Hi, it's Mr. O'Sullivan. Today we're going to be looking at lesson 1-4, evaluating expressions. Today's learning target is, let me just find do not disturb. I can evaluate an algebraic expression by using my calculator. So in A2, we are going to be spending a lot of time evaluating and simplifying expressions. Just to be clear, algebraic expressions are simply combinations of constants and variables using the typical operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, along with exponents and roots, which are square roots, cube roots, etc. It's important to evaluate algebraic expressions for the values of variables contained in them. So for instance, we're going to be giving you complicated expressions, and we want to know what's happening at that specific value. So if we look, here's our first example. Consider the algebraic expression 4x squared plus 1. Evaluate the expression x equals 4. So here's what I am actually expecting of you. I am expecting to see the setup, and then you simply just type it into your calculator. So here we have 4x squared plus 1, so we rewrite it. And everywhere we see an x, we're going to substitute a 4. So I have 4 times 4 squared plus 1. And now I'm going to type this into my calculator, if I can find it. So I'm going to type it in. So I have 4 parenthesis 4, square it, that's fifth, and then add 1. Now I hit enter, and I get 65. And that's my final answer. Now let's look at our next one. Consider the more complex expression, 4x plus 3 divided by x to the third minus 7. Evaluate this at x equals 3. So we rewrite our original. So we're going to rewrite 4x plus 3 over x to the third minus 7. And we're going to plug in 3 now. So everywhere we see an x, we plug in 3. So I have 4 times 3 plus 3 all over 3 to the third minus 7. Now, if you forget how to make a fraction on your calculator, we're going to do alpha y equal enter. And now we have 4 times 3 plus 3 divided by 3 to the third. And then I take away 7. Now I hit enter, and I get 0.75. We don't like decimals that end. So we're going to hit math, enter, enter, and we get 3/4. And that's your final answer. Okay, now consider the algebraic expression square root of 25 minus x squared, which contains square root. Evaluate this expression for x equals -3. So I rewrite my original. So my square root 25 minus x squared. So I have square root 25 minus parenthesis -3 squared. Now I type this into my calculator exactly as it's written. So I have 25 minus parenthesis -3, square it, and notice it's all under my radical, just like it is here. I hit enter, and I get 4. That's your final answer. Now, it says, why can you not evaluate the expression for x equals 13? So for this one, we're actually going to see what happens when we do this by hand. So I'm going to rewrite my square root of 25 minus x squared. And we're going to plug in that 13. So I have square root 25 minus 13 squared. Now, if we type this on our calculator, we're going to do second radical, 25 minus 13 squared. Ooh, second. I did 13 to the cubed. Let me type that in again. Hit enter, and I get non-real answer. I have no idea what that means, so let's figure this out. So I have 25 minus 13 squared, and I hit enter, and I get -144. And if we remember, it's not possible to take the square root of a negative number. So it's not possible to evaluate this at x equals 13 because you can't take the square root of a negative number. Can't. So you can't take the square root of negative numbers. Question number 4. Determine the value of the absolute value of the square root of 4x plus 9 minus x squared divided by 3 when x equals 10. So this is going to be a lot of work on the calculator, so you have to be very, very careful. So I rewrite the expression, so radical 4x plus 9, well, the absolute value of it, minus x squared over 3. We're going to plug in 10 for x. So I have the square root, well, the absolute value, I always forget that, 4 times 10 plus 9 minus 10 squared. And that's all under an absolute value, and it's all over 3. So now I type this in my calculator. So I'm going to do alpha y equal enter to make my fraction. Now if I look, there's an absolute value up here, so I'm going to have to type an absolute value first. So math, scroll to the right, hit enter. Now do your radical, so second x squared, and I do 4 times 10 plus 9, take away 10 squared, all over 3. Now I hit enter, and I get 31. And that's your final answer when you type this into your calculator.